Oh shit! So 70 now. Yeah. Coming out here and having like the worst possible thing happen. What's up guys? In today's video, we're going to be testing Contra springs, and I'm going to show you how to test the difference between the Contra springs in terms of how much force is required to close the spring fully all the way. One of the issues I found was that if you go on to certain stores to buy Contra springs, you've got Contra springs like this Polini one here, which may be measured in percentages. So it'll be saying 35% weaker. And then you've got a Contra spring like stage 6, for example, that will just say soft. How am I supposed to compare 15% weaker to soft? I would need this one to say 35% weaker, or this one to say medium. It just doesn't really work. It doesn't work. So I'm going to show you guys how you can compare your Contra springs to each other to find out which one's your softest and which one's your stiffest before you install them into the bike. As you can see, we've got 6 different Contra springs here to test. Polini, standard, and then we've got 3 stage 6 springs. Now luckily for me, these ones come with little labels that say soft, medium and hard. We know this one here is going to be harder than this one, and this one's harder than this one, but we don't know about these. But I'm pretty sure these are going to be softer than this one, and they probably do have some markings on them. We've got 50mm 20 kilograms and 50mm 23 kilograms, but I don't really understand what that means. I'm guessing this means that it's 50mm thickness of the spring and then 23 kilograms of force to fully close it. Maybe that's what that means. I don't 100% know. We're about to find out, because here we've got some bathroom scales and we're just going to put them onto here and measure how much force it takes to fully compress the spring. And one thing I forgot to point out, guys, was that the 2 Polini springs are actually shorter than the other 4 springs. I'm not sure why, but I wanted to make that clear. So I'm thinking these are going to be softer than this. I don't really know why you'd want softer springs to begin with. The standard spring is already soft enough. If you want good acceleration and you want to keep the bike where it's most responsive, you want a stiffer spring, but then you might lose top speed. These might be better for top speed, and we're going to find out hopefully today. So we'll start with this one, which is the 20 kilogram spring. So we're looking at about 49.3 kilograms. Spring 1, and that was 49.3 kilograms of force to fully compress. And we'll also just mark that with P20 so that we know that it's a Polini spring and it's the one that says 20 kilograms on it. Right, so that second spring is about 52 kilos. We'll write that down as 52. So that one's obviously stiffer. So the main thing here is just knowing which ones are the stiffest springs we've got and which are the weakest. 52 kilograms. Again, this isn't super accurate, but it just tells us which ones are stiffer than what. So now we've got the completely standard looking spring. 48.7 apparently. So I'll write that down. Okay, so far it's looking like that's the softest one, and these ones are only slightly stiffer. I'm going to test it one more time just to be on the safe side. Maybe 46. So 46, we'll just write 46 underneath it. So it's looking like that's probably the weakest spring we've got so far. Let's try this stage 6. That feels stiffer already, a lot stiffer. That's a little bit hard to get fully compressed. Maybe 60 kilo then on that one, so that is quite a bit stiffer than standard. Now we've got medium. Let's try medium. So it's going to get quite hard now for me to compress these. Oh, my flags just fell down. Hold up. Should do. Stage 6 medium spring. Let's see what this weighs. Now it's going to be quite hard to compress this. So maybe 63.5. And last but not least, we've got the stiff spring, the strong spring. Here we go. Oh, that is stiff. I'm having to actually push myself down a bit just to get it steady, because I do not weigh 71 kilos. 71.8 kilos, that's the stiffest spring. Now, if you're going to do this accurately, I'd test all 6 springs 3 times. I'm not going to do that because it's not that important for me right now. I know that my bike runs best with either the medium stage 6 or the strong stage 6. But it'll be interesting to see, now that I've made it a 70cc, how it rides with these different soft springs. So we'll try them. I imagine it's going to be quite sluggish, but it's good content for you guys to learn from and understand what kind of Contra spring you might want in your bike and why. For this, I'm going to put the standard belt back on the bike, because currently I'm running a belt that's made for a different bike, the Gilera DNA, and that is a longer casing, a longer belt. So it's a longer belt that's supposed to be on my bike, but I was hoping I would get more acceleration and potentially more top speed out of a longer belt. And it does work. It slips a little bit with the medium spring when it's cold. In this weather, the belt would not slip at all. With the stiff spring, the strongest spring, it definitely doesn't slip. But I want to compare these, find out which one's best for my bike, and then try the other belts I've got. The standard belt that I've got, which I'm going to put on the bike now, which is inside the cubby hole under the seat. So we're going to try all these with the standard belt, and then I'm going to try these two maybe with two more larger belts that are made for the Gilera DNA. That won't all be in this video. I'll do the belt testing probably tomorrow in a separate video with these springs, the stiffest springs, so that the belt doesn't slip. But yeah, that's the results in, guys. So now you know how to test your Contra springs to see which one's the stiffest one you've got. If you're not sure and you just can't quite understand the different markings on them. So one thing I want to discuss real quick is if you look at the wear on my newest Stage 6 clutch, you can see that we're only making contact on the shiniest points. So we've got like surface here and surface here that's just not getting touched, which means that as this clutch wears down more and more, it's going to finally start touching more and more on these edges. So as the clutch gets older, it should actually start to engage better, more aggressive, because the entire surface is going to be connecting with the belt instead of just these one little bits. It's looking quite shiny in there. I might rough that up a little bit and just rough these up a little bit so it engages a little bit better. Also, if you look here at these components I have in my clutch, you might not have these, but basically what we've got is inside here, we have this little Collini plastic piece. And it's just now occurring to me that that plastic piece, it's maybe 2-3 millimeters thick, is probably stopping the torque driver from opening as far as it could. So maybe I'm losing top speed because of that, which I drop in there. And basically what that does is it just allows the spring to sit inside this metal piece, sit on here, and it stops the spring from binding so that it can spin more freely and doesn't get binded up as the clutch tries to engage and move. So we're going to stick this piece in here, this little plastic piece, and now we just need to compress this and get the clutch back on. Get the clutch nut ready, get it the right way. Should probably replace this at some point soon because I've had it off a lot of times. Ah yes, a little foreshadowing of what's later to come, which was the downfall of my entire day. Squeeze this down like so and try and get your feet on it. This is the softest spring, so this should be easy really, in theory. And then we'll just get this on, we'll get it started, and now we tighten it up with this. Nice and tight, easy as that, guys. Now I like to get the belt in. It's directional, which means it wants to go the same way that the engine parts are going. So we'll stick it in here like this, get it ready. And I find the easiest way to get the belt back into the driver is to just stand on the clutch and pull it up towards you, slip the belt in like that. Easy. I've discussed this before, but I'll tell you again. The reason that we pull the pulley apart on the clutch and get this right in is so that there's lots of room and slack around here, so that when we put this drive face, this front pulley on, like this, when we tighten up the nut, see how the belt's loose behind there? It stops you from tightening up the nut and tightening the pulley against the belt, because then your nut wouldn't be tightened properly. So you need to always make sure you do that, guys, and you've got a lot of slack down this end. There we go. This is going to be a long day of doing this, I'll tell you that for sure. Get this piece on as well. That's good. And then get that nut on there, and then we can tighten everything up. I'm just going to hold this in place and just hopefully that's tight enough. Definitely need a new nut for that. I've got a new one somewhere upstairs, but I'll buy some more. There we go, that's it. Nice and tight. And then we can just either push the belt back to where you want it, or you can just start the bike and it will find its own seat. Now what we're going to do is get the casing back on, take it for a ride with the softest spring, and see how it performs. I imagine it's not going to perform very well, but we don't know until we test it. Now I'm not going to put all the bolts in because I'm going to be taking this off a lot today because we've got 6 springs to test. So we've got the softest spring in, we're going to go test it and then try the other springs as well. Well, she does not want to run today. There we go, she's running. So boggy. So boggy. And way too much air for some reason right now. Hopefully that goes away in a minute. There we go. Okay, let's try, give her a ride. Whoa. Whoa. She feels surprisingly fast for the softest spring. I was not expecting that. Oh my god! Oh, that acceleration's next level. I was not expecting that. Maybe I want to be running a softer spring. Oh, that's crazy. Seems to be maxing out at 54. Now I think if we put a bigger belt on, she'd do even better, but I don't think that spring has enough force to stop the bigger belt from slipping. She seems kind of quick, but it doesn't feel as aggressive when I set off. It's not as aggressive off the line, like it's not like staying in first gear, so to speak, for longer. So it definitely doesn't feel like it wants to wheelie off the line like it does with my medium spring and my stiff spring. Yeah, it doesn't wheelie at all. Like, I even give it a little tug then to try and bring it up a little bit, and it just weren't having it. Oh, damn. Oh, damn! I'm in one and uphill here, and we're doing 25. Let's see if it'll come up. I mean, yeah, she comes up. She comes up, so I'm quite surprised at that, but we are going uphill. We weren't going too fast. We should just struggle a little bit. Yeah, you definitely want a stiffer spring if you want to be doing wheelies. I think what we'll do, we'll start right here, on a bit of a downhill, of course, but we'll start next to this nice little sign that we've got right there on the road. It's a good starting point, and we'll just get up to top speed or as best we can do with the length of the road we've got from here, right here, to just past that red car down there. Hopefully the camera's nice and tight. I'll check it definitely afterwards, but then yeah, we'll try this spring, the softest spring, up and down, come back and change it and try the next one. Right, here we go. See how she does. We want a bit of a downhill as well, so that helps, and then a bit of an uphill here. We need flat ground really. 45, 46, 48. We'll take this corner. Oh, it's bumpy. Let's see what's a bit further round. So we'll go up to 48 as we hit the corner. We'll do 51, 52, 53 is what we got. 53 mile an hour, that's not bad. 53, and let's pull over. And we'll do some work right here. This looks like a nice spot, as good a spot as any. This is crazy, this, like doing work on the bike, miles away from home, at the side of the road. Oh, I've just realised as well, everything's going to be really hot. We'll have to wait a little bit for the things to cool down. That's hot. That is hot. So I might only test a few of the springs for that reason, because otherwise it's going to take really, really long. We'll just skip one here and there basically. We've got 6 springs on us, including the one on the bike. We've got the softest spring in right now, spring number 1. Just to make things a little bit easier, I might just skip some in between. So we'll skip spring number 2 and go straight to number 3. Go from spring 3, skip out the stage 6 soft and go straight to the stage 6 medium, which would be spring 5. And then we'll also test the stiffest one as well. Otherwise the results are going to be very similar. There's not going to be a massive noticeable difference between the ones that I'm skipping. And obviously it's going to take too long, and this is all really, really hot. So yeah, I think that's probably the way I'll do it, but we'll see, we'll see. It's red hot right now, red hot. We need to let it cool down. Okay, so we took the front pulley off. I haven't really let it cool down, we're just going to crack on. Alright, let's get this off. It's not coming off for some reason. Not sure why. It's rounding the knot, which isn't good. Why is it not coming off? Come on. What is going on? Might not be a good idea to do this here today, guys, until I get a new nut. I think it's because it's all too hot. Not ideal for me to mess with this like this out here and then not be able to get home. But we're going to try and continue. I think this just needs to cool down a bit. Got it off, just about. This nut's looking a little bit worse for wear. Definitely a little bit rounded on its edges. Hopefully we get it back on and off a few times. I don't know if I'm going to actually keep doing this. We're getting metal shavings everywhere. We're going to need a new nut soon. Anyway, let's see what the other springs are. So we've got these two blue ones, 20 and 23. We're going to skip this one and go straight to the 23, which is number 3 on the list. Get this back together, hopefully. We shall see. We shall see. It's crazy doing this kind of work out and about and not at home. Never done this before. It's probably not a good idea. Oh, come on. Oh, this nut does not want to go on. Hold up. Let's check the threads. Oh yeah, them threads are looking pretty chewed, if I'm being honest, guys. It's not good. Definitely gonna have to just call it a day. Get a new torque driver, I think. Well guys, my fear might be realised here. I might actually be stranded on just the first spring because them threads are suddenly knackered. Same for the nut. The nut's not looking too healthy. We might not be able to get this back together. Yeah, that's definitely not going to want to go back on there. That is well bad. Maybe if I can put it on upside down, will it go on? Coming out here and having like the worst possible thing happen. You go to work on a bike away from home where you've got all your tools and it doesn't matter if it goes wrong, and it goes wrong. Somehow though, I've managed to get it back on. I'm just going to hope that's tight enough. It's shredded that. We need a new torque driver now. And a new one of these nuts as well. That is well shredded. Metal shavings everywhere, but it's on, so I can get home, hopefully. I'm going to take it easy. And then not ride the bike until I get new parts. Why is that not going on there now? Don't tell me the crank's knackered as well. No, that nut's not looking too clever. That's better. There we go, straight on, nice and easy. That's tight. Hopefully. I feel like that's just got loose. I think the threads are knackered on that as well. Hopefully that don't come loose. Like I say, we're just going to try and take it easy. Oh, if that comes loose, I'm going to know about it. As if this is all happening in one day, guys. Interesting. Yeah, check that thing out. Yeah, he's flying. Let's see if this works. Please work. She's working, she's riding. So nice, such a good day for it. I do have a spare 15mm nut, which is the one that holds the clutch bell on. I've got one of those at home, I know I do, but I don't have a spare torque driver, and I don't have a spare torque driver nut. Well, I didn't expect to get that clutch nut on, the big one, the thin big nut. I did not expect to get that on, and honestly, it went on, it didn't go on very well, and then I just sent it. I just like got the gun on it and sent it, and I'm hoping that it holds. And then the other nut, when I put that on, I was like, that felt like it just got loose, and I was only tightening them up like not too aggressively, but it felt like it got loose. So again, we're just going to take it easy. I'm dreading just like hearing this horrible metal noise, and the clutch has just come off inside the casing and just goes bang, and oh, we'll know it when it happens, guys. If it happens, let's hope it doesn't. Whew. I'm not nervous though, I'm having a good time. This is probably the first time I've had a big issue, and I'm happy. The weather's nice, the bike's working-ish, we're taking it easy. Yeah, I'm happy right now. Look at me doing the speed limit, what is that about? That's crazy. I can definitely hear something tapping and like rattling, it doesn't sound good. Yeah, something doesn't sound right, guys. We'll just take her easy. Oh, I really want to rev it. No, don't do it, man, don't do it, be sensible. Look at me, I'm on my tiptoes right now. This seat, man, it's like, look at this. I can get one foot down, I can't get both down flat at the same time unless I stand like an idiot. I'm honestly tempted to like put a softer spring in the back of this, which I think I might do. And it'll sit lower then as well, because I'm just too light for this and it's just so stiff. And I think as well, if it's softer, it'll collapse and wheelie easier when I accelerate. What the f***? Jesus, man. Oh my god. See? Good thing I'm not actually like flying today. I would have been over that dude's bonnet, 100%. Oh man, so nice. So nice to get out and just ride. This is the only way to commute and get around in the summer, is 2 wheels, 100%. In my opinion, it's got to be a scooter. It's just fun. Automatic, rev and go. Oh, my bike's just cut out. What the f***? My bike's just cut out. So guys, just got the bike home and put it on its stand. And I can hear rattling. You hear that? I'm like, what the heck is that? So I look over this side. Both the nuts on the back of the bolts that hold the exhaust on, both this one and the one further down, have come off. I don't know where they've gone. Yeah, not a good day for nuts and bolts, it would seem. I'm not going to have this as a two-part video. It might be a bit of a longer one-part video now. Once I've ordered parts and they come, we have to get back out and test everything again and try and change parts at the side of the road. Turns out we were incredibly lucky to get home. Took this nut off. Look inside there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh my God, there's no threads. There's no threads. That nut was doing nothing because the threads are right here. Look. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Oh my God. We were so lucky to get home. That's insane. I mean, they are old. They've been off and on, off and on, off and on, off and on so many times with the kind of content I create, constantly taking the bike apart. So, you know, things are going to wear and eventually see their ass. So, yeah, I might try an Overrange kit. It looks like it might even fit in there. I'll have to find out. I don't know what might need shaving down to fit an Overrange kit to this. Not a clue. But I'm seeing a gap right there, guys. There's a good gap here. See these gaps? Looks like an Overrange kit might just go straight in. Same for there. There's a bit of a gap. Maybe an Overrange kit will go straight in. If not, I can shave things down. So I wonder what I should do. And I can't even ask you guys for your opinion because this video is probably going to be posted all in one. And the next part of the video continuing on, I'll go boom like this. And we're going to end up being like, hey guys, I got an Overrange kit. Or hey guys, I got another torque driver. Let's try again. Hey guys, I bought an Overrange kit. Yeah, so that is not the route we're going down, don't worry. I did buy an Overrange kit, that will be a future video. And suddenly everybody on the internet has started saying that the Stage 6 Overrange kit is the worst you can get and that it slips. But I mean, they could have had the wrong belt, they could have had grease on the Overrange kit, they could have had a Contra spring that wasn't stiff enough. So to continue on with this video, I purchased half of a torque driver, which comes with obviously better threads than what mine were looking like. Oh, one thing as well that I found out since I bought the Overrange kit is that, remember when I said in the video earlier on that the blue Polini springs are shorter than the other 4 springs I've got? Well, this one is the same size as the blue Polini springs, and this is for the Overrange kit. So maybe those Polini springs are actually for an Overrange kit. This is covered in metal shavings right now from this. Let's have a look at it now. Oh my God. Look at it. Look at the state. You see all this? Oh my God. I think the first thing we'll do is just get this piece off. This just pulls off this fan, which I've put on. I'll take that off for now as well. Oh, we're getting grease all over the place. Really old, worn grease. We'll clean this, I think. Need to get them pins out of there, and then yeah, we will clean it off before we put it back in. So we've got a pin right here. It just comes out. There's also what looks like a piece of the seal right there, so that's not good. It's broken right there. I don't know if you can see that in the goo. Take those 3 out, and that should be it. This should come apart. I've never done this before, by the way. That should just come off. Ta-da! And this is what I'm going to be using today. MHR grease 7.1. The pins don't want to go back in the holes and it doesn't make any sense. Oh, don't tell me the pins are only going to fit this original one and they don't fit the new one. Slides right in there really easy. It just falls straight in. It doesn't seem to want to fit into the new RMS one. They're too big for the RMS holes, it would seem. Okay, we're going to try and drill it. Right, my drill bit just won't go through it for some reason. I don't know why. So, it's been about a month since the previous part of this video that you saw. I went to Italy in the meantime, and that was good. And I spent 3 weeks filming and editing all of that and put that on YouTube. That was a really good video. It took a long time to make. Back to the problems we were having. The holes in the torque driver for the guide pins should have been 5.5 millimeters. And for some reason it wasn't. And Ped Parts wanted me to send the part back to them. But it turns out the Yamaha guide pins for Yamaha torque driver are 4.95 millimeter, so they should fit into the new rear torque driver. There's definitely things I would have done differently in the previous parts of the video, but I'd already added music to it, saved the edit, deleted the original footage before I went away on holiday, and so I can't re-edit it without the music and stuff cutting and seeming weird, but I would have definitely shortened it down. But yeah, we're going to continue on with some Yamaha guide pins in the torque driver, and let's see how we get on. In the previous part of the video, I said that the seal down here was damaged. So I've got this replacement O-ring, which you can see right here, but it's for a 125, way too big. So if I ever get a 125, I've got this if I need it. You can see the difference in the way they look. This one's got grooves in it. All right, let's grease it up and get the guide pins in. Yeah, that goes right in there. Now, it's not made for this bike, but it seems like it's doing its job just fine. Now we're just gonna kind of, not pack it, but get the grease way up in there.
Put them way up inside there.
Now at this point we've got 2 of the guide pins in, but this last guide pin just won't go in because RMS is just crap. I might just hammer it in, honestly guys, I might just hammer it the rest of the way in, because it just doesn't want to go in. That is stupid. Don't buy RMS. Lesson learned. There we go, it's in. Right, I'm happy with that, that'll do. Not the cleanest work I've ever done, not gonna lie. I just want it done so I can crack on with the Overrange kit. Just getting the grease all in them grooves. It was probably this that damaged my seal the first time. It looks a little bit different as well. Like, this one's definitely flatter right to the end, whereas this one's a bit more bulky. Let's see if it actually fits properly. It's rubbing. It's rubbing a tiny bit. Not ideal. See that? The gear wobble. That's making it rub. Maybe pull it away. It's not rubbing. And maybe once this little end is sat in that bearing, it'll keep it straight and it won't keep catching on the casing. So I'm going to run it at this point. We're going to run it and see if it works. I think that's all the problem is at this point. Is that this is loose. See it? See the wobble? Which is normal. That's why you've got the bearing in the case. It's not normal on all bikes. It's normal on this bike with the bearing in the case. And get this nice and clean. Like I say, I don't know how it's going to perform given that the lip's different. It might perform worse. I know that I'll get more speed with a longer belt with a stiffer spring, because realistically a stiffer spring should stop the Contra from opening as far or make it harder and you'd lose top speed. But because a stiffer spring allows me to run a longer belt without belt slip, the longer belt gives me more speed. I prefer that. That's what I'm going to do at the end. We're going to do belt testing after this video. And then finally the Overrange kit. So we've got 20 kilo and 23. I went straight to the 23 last time, didn't I? Just to get home. Obviously we know how that panned out. When you put your spring in here, you want to see, like, does it spin freely one way or does it spin more freely the other way? Like, that's really struggling. And then if we put it upside down with the words facing down, it's a little better. Yeah, that's not how your rollers are supposed to be. Okay, so a little recap. Last time I rode the bike home a month ago, it died on me, so hopefully it starts and runs okay. The exhaust was hanging off. I took 2 bolts from an old exhaust, 2 nuts, and 3 of them on, so that's good to go. Let's see if she'll run. Okay, in the lobsters as well. Get these bad boys on. Wow. Straight away. Alright, good. I'm not complaining. Stinky. Alright, we're good to go. Wow, smoky in here. Oh, this is so much faster than that Vespa that I rode in Italy. That was the last time I rode a scooter, was Italy. And this is so much faster. I'm on the Polini spring now. 50 mile an hour already, 54, 55, yep, it's already quicker and we're not even at the destination. We're not even at the destination yet. Alright, let's see what she's got. gaining on this binny. Oh man. I need somewhere I can test where there's not other people getting in the way. Alright, let's see what she can do. Bogging a little bit, like, not the car, but just feels a bit sluggish. That's 48, 49, 50, 53, 54, and that's a bend. That's not a bad angle, that, with the camera there. That works for me. It's not going to look, you know, completely point of view for you guys, but it might still be good. It might still work. You just have to let me know. Okay, so got back home after testing that blue Contra spring in there. Hopefully you guys can see that. I mean, just look at this belt fitment though. I want you to see that. Look at how bad that is. The belt sat so far into the torque driver. It's why you lose acceleration and why you lose top speed, which is why I want a stiffer spring with a bigger belt that comes further out, way further out. But yeah, it's hot. It's so hot this. Everything's going to be really soft. So, like the metal is going to be really soft. So I just want to let it cool down, and we'll take it apart. And we'll probably move up to the stage 6 soft spring next, I think. Take the bike back out and try and find a better area to test, because way too crowded where I just was, way too crowded. And yeah, somebody wanted me to do a point of view angle with the camera, so I'm trying it. Under here we've got the stage 6 spring in, the stage 6 soft, and we've decided to leave these two pieces out this time because they came with the Polini kit. They're more for the Polini springs, yet they help the springs stop from binding, and I could tell. But we're going to try and run it without that. This is kind of how a lot of people run their scooters, I suppose, anyway. And also, in the casing here, we've took this bung out right here, which is just there. We took this bung out just to try and let a bit more airflow come through here and out the back and keep this a little bit cooler. But that's it, stage 6 soft springs in, we're gonna go take it for a ride. Oh, and I can tell it's already much better. Yeah, like she just gets going. That feels miles better already. Like I say, I prefer stiffer springs. Soft ones are just a bit sluggish. It's keeping her in the lower revs for longer and it just sounds better. Sounds better, feels better. Like it's not got that sort of bog noise I was hearing and kind of feeling like it was just struggling. Alright, I'm going to squeeze through this little gap right here. Let's not hit this Porsche. This guy's like fully in the bike lane right now. Yeah, we're getting around these guys. We're not waiting in all this. This looks f***ing terrible. Look how bad this is. At least I'm, you know, can ride on the opposite side of the road with this thing. This guy's not for moving out of the way. So 70 now. Yeah. Yeah, I've spent quite a while on it last year. Yeah, man. It's not bad, mate. It's not bad. Oh, what is going on here? Yes. That's much better. Alright, nobody pull across me. I don't want to die. I don't want to end up over someone's bonnet today. There we go. We're finally out of the traffic. We need to put a better 70cc cylinder kit in this than what's in it. Some girl was just giving it all that, man. Oh, that's funny. Right, let's see what speed we can get. So, best speed we've had was 44, 45 with the last spring downhill. 3, 2, 1. It's a bit sloppy on the takeoff, a little. 45. Last time we got what? 48 into this corner. 48, 49. And a bit of an uphill. Oh, staying in it. So bumpy. 53. 53, 54. 55. Oh, that is so f***ing bumpy and windy. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, I let off there and hit the brake a bit because these tyres are too knobbly and it's too windy for taking corners that fast. The bike was shaking all over then. Don't know if you guys saw that. That sounds really sketch, and the bike's slowing down on its own quite a lot. I think the torque drive is scraping quite a bit. Let's have a look. So we let the bike cool down a bit and had a look at the torque driver to see if it was catching, which it is catching a little bit. But we took it apart, we got the stiff stage 6 spring in, so we're going to give it one last final run. I'm going to do a run from higher up back there because I don't like hitting that bend at that speed. Yeah, that just feels so much better on acceleration. And she's revving higher now too. Okay, here we go. Acceleration feels good. Let's see what the top speed's looking like. I'm going to guess it's about the same, 53 mile an hour. 51, 52, 53. Yeah, 53, and we didn't hit the bend, so the Contra spring really for me, it's only affecting the acceleration, it's not affecting the top speed, so I guess that settles that debate. And it's very bouncy as well, we've got new suspension to try out. Just need to get back used to wheeling again, it's been a while. So nice round here. Oh shit! Squirting things as they go past with the squirt guns. That guy just let me know there was police down here somewhere. That's the first time I've ever had anybody warn me that the police are there. Awesome. So guys, we're home, and it turns out this plastic piece is loose now for some reason, which is weird because this nut is tight. It is very tight, so I don't know how this plastic's become loose unless it's melted because it was getting that hot from this rubbing. Maybe it's caused it to get hot and it's melted a little bit, and now it's got wiggle room. In conclusion guys, Contra springs don't make a difference to top speed in this example. I don't know about other bikes, but with my bike and all the testing we did, we were getting 53, 54 miles an hour tops. So Contra springs don't make a difference to top speed. They're supposed to, but they're not doing it at the moment. They do make a massive difference to acceleration. I like the stiffest Contra spring for acceleration, and when I put a belt in my bike that's not made for my bike, it's actually longer. The bike gets better top speed and better acceleration. So that's what I'm going to keep doing once I figure out what I'm going to do about this torque driver situation. I'm really not too sure what to do about it. I should probably shave the gear cover down a little bit more if I want to keep running it. I don't know how much of the gear cover I can shave down before I've gone too far and oil comes through. Obviously I could shave down the back of the torque driver, but I wouldn't be able to do it evenly, and I don't know if it's, you know, like when you balance wheels, when you get new tyres put on your car and you have to balance your wheels, that might have a balance to it, and if I start shaving it and not doing it evenly, I might upset the weight balance. I don't know for sure, just an idea that came to my head. So I'm going to shave the gear cover instead a little bit more, just so we can do this belt testing video next, and then finally Overrange kit, which I can't wait. Anyway, thanks for watching guys, I hope you learned something from it. I hope you enjoyed seeing me suffer, because this video has made me suffer a lot. It's took a month to make, it's been a nightmare. I've had to wait on parts for weeks, places going out of stock, getting sent parts that don't work. The issues are still ongoing, obviously it's catching now and there's loads of vibrations. But yeah, hopefully you learned something about Contra springs, and I'll see you in the next one.
Put the team on my back, never fold, never crack.